Okay, I'm on page 102 in your book, adding text. Now, you will now add text to the image. With the work file still open, click to select the rooster layer in the Layers panel. In the Tools panel, click to select the Type tool. Here. And click in the upper left corner of the image, just above the roof of the barn. Notice that a layer appears on top of the rooster layer in the Layers panel. So let's see, I need to click the T, the type, and I'm going to click here, and now notice a new layer has appeared. Okay, in the options bar, select the following. From the font family drop-down menu, choose Myriad Pro. Oh, mine's already chosen. They're all in alphabetical order. And then choose bold italic. So instead of regular, we're going to choose bold italic. And choose size 72. Click once on the Set the Text Color swatch right here. The text color picker appears. Click on white or any light color that appears in the upper left corner of the color pane. Like right there. Then press OK to close the color picker window. Type Big Red Barn. When you're finished typing, click the Commit button, checkbox, right here, the checker, to confirm it. And with the text layer still active, click the Add a Layer Style button, FX, at the bottom of the Layers panel and choose Stroke. So make sure that that's still chosen. And here's the FX. And we want to choose Stroke. The Layer Style dialog box opens with the stroke options visible. Click on the color box and choose a red color. Right here's color. We want to choose a red color and then press OK to accept the color, and then OK again to apply the stroke. And you can see that there's a border added. And by the way, I can't see all of mine there, so if I click the Move tool, I can click and drag it as long as I'm on the text layer. Choose to save. I'm going to do Control S to save. Saving files. Adobe Photoshop allows you to save your files in a variety of file formats, which makes it possible to use your images in many different ways. You can save images to allow for additional editing of things such as layers and effects you have applied in Photoshop, or save images for sharing with users who need only the finished file for use on the web or for printing. In all, Photoshop allows you to save your file in more than a dozen unique file formats. As you work on images, it is best to save them using the default Photoshop format, which uses the .psd extension at the end of the file name. This is the native Photoshop file format and retains the most usable data without a loss in image quality. Because the Photoshop format was developed by Adobe, many non-Adobe software applications do not recognize the .psd format. Additionally, the PSD format may contain more information than you need and may be a larger file size than is appropriate for sharing through email or posting on a website. While you may create copies of images for sharing, it is a good idea to keep an original version of the PSD format as a master file that you can access if necessary. This is especially important because some file formats are considered to be lossy formats, which means that they remove image data in order to reduce the size of the file. So understanding file formats, while Photoshop can be used to create files for all sorts of media, the three most common uses for image files are print, web, and video production. Following is a list of the most common formats and how they're used. So these are web production formats, JPEGs. This is a common format for digital camera photographs, and the primary format for full-color images shared on the web. JPEG images use lossy compression, which degrades the quality of the images and discards color and pixel data. Once the image data is lost, it cannot be recovered. GIF files are used to display limited, indexed color graphics on the web. It is a compressed format that reduces the file size of images, but it only supports a limited number of colors and is used more appropriate for logos and artwork than photographs. GIF files support transparency. PNGs was developed as an alternative to GIF for displaying images on the web. It uses lossless compression and supports transparency. For print production, the Photoshop format, the PSD, is the default file format and the only format, besides the large document format, that supports most Photoshop features. Files saved as PSD can be used in other Adobe applications such as Illustrator, InDesign, Premiere, and others. The programs can directly import PSD files and access many Photoshop features such as layers. The TIFF is a common bitmap image format. Most image editing software and page layout applications support TIFF images up to 2 gig in file size. TIFF supports most color modes and can save images with alpha channels. While Photoshop can also include layers in a TIFF file, most other applications cannot use these extended features and see only the combined flattened image. EPS files may contain both vector and bitmap data. Because it is a common file format used in print production, most graphics software programs support EPS format for importing or placing images. EPS is a subset of the PostScript format. Some software applications cannot preview the high-resolution information contained within an EPS file, so Photoshop allows you to save a special preview file for use with these programs, using either the EPS TIFF or EPS PIC option. EPS supports most color modes as well as clipping paths, which are commonly used to silhouette images and remove backgrounds. Photoshop PDF files are extremely versatile as they may contain bitmap and vector data. Images saved in the Photoshop PDF format can maintain the editing capabilities of most Photoshop features, such as vector objects, text, and layers, and most color spaces are supported. Photoshop PDF files can also be shared with other graphics applications, as most of the current versions of graphics software are able to import or manipulate PDF files. Photoshop PDF files can even be opened by users with the free Adobe Reader software. For video production, there's the TIFF and the Targa. Okay, so choosing a file format. In this section, you will save your file to share online, and for printing, you will use 2 common formats, JPEG and Photoshop PDF. Saving a JPEG file. To save a copy of your image for sharing online, whether on a website or to send through email, you will save it using the JPEG format. In this lesson, you will use the Save menu. So we're going to go File, Save As. In the Save As dialog box, type Farm in the file name. And from the Format drop-down menu, choose JPEG right here. The JPEG dialog options box appears. We're going to hit Save. Okay, in the JPEG options dialog box, confirm the quality is set to maximum. Yep. And leave the format options set to their defaults and click OK. Choose File Close to close the file and click Save when prompted. File Close. Okay, because JPEG is supported by web browsers, you can click your file by opening it using any web browser such as Firefox, Internet Explorer, or Safari. Open the browser and choose File Open, which may appear as Open File or Open Location depending on the application, and then navigate and double-click the file to open it. Okay, so you could do that too if you wanted to. Right here in Chrome, I could click to open, Okay, we'll do that later. Let's get through this video here. Saving for print. In this part of the lesson, you will change the color settings to choose a color profile more suitable for print to help you preview and prepare your file for printing. You will change the resolution of the image before saving it. If the work file is not open, go open it. So File, Open Recent, and there's my work file. Choose Edit Color Settings. The color setting dialog box appears. From the color settings drop-down menu, choose North America Pre-Press 2. Right here. This provides you with a color profile based upon typical printing environments in North America, and then click OK. Choose a zoom tool from the tools, and then click and drag to create a zoom area around the text at the top of the image. The text is magnified to fill the entire display screen. Choose View Proof Colors. Notice a slight change in the color of the red stroke around the text as the colors appear more subdued. The Proof Colors command allows you to work in the RGB format while approximating how your image will look when converted to CMYK, the color space used for printing. While you will work on images in the RGB mode, they generally must be converted to CMYK before they are printed. And you can see that up here, right there. Okay, adjusting the image size. Notice you will adjust the image size for printing. When printing an image, you generally want a resolution of at least 150 pixels per inch. For higher quality images, you will want resolution of at least 300 pixels per inch. While this image was saved at 72 pixels per inch, it is larger than needed. By reducing the physical dimensions of the image, the resolution, the number of pixels per inch, can be increased. So we're going to go image size, and it currently has 72 pixels per inch right down here for resolution. This low resolution affects the image quality and should be increased to print the best image possible. For this to occur, the dimensions of the image will need to be reduced so the image will be of a higher resolution but will be smaller in size. Resampling changes the amount of image data. When you resample up, you increase the number of pixels. New pixels are added based upon the interpolation method you select. While resampling adds pixels, it can reduce image quality if it is not used carefully. In the image size dialog box, uncheck Resample Image. By unchecking the Resample Image checkbox, you can increase the resolution without decreasing image quality. You can use this method when resizing large image files like those from digital cameras that tend to have large dimensions but low resolution. Type 300 in the resolution field. The size is reduced in the width and height text boxes to accommodate the new increased resolution, but the pixel dimensions remain the same. For quality printing at the highest resolution, this image should be printed no larger than approximately 2.9 by 1.8 inches, and then click OK. In this image, you are not adding pixels. You are simply reducing the dimensions of the image to create a higher resolution. Control S to save. Saving a Photoshop PDF file. Images containing text or vector shapes may appear fine in low resolution when viewed on a computer display, even if the vector information is rasterized, converted into pixels. When the same images are used for print projects, they should retain the resolution-independent vector elements. This keeps the text and other vector graphics looking sharp. so you do not need to worry about the jagged edges that occur when text and shapes are rasterized. To keep the vector information, you need to save the file using a format that retains both vector and bitmap data. File, save as, and in the name box, we're going to type farm print version. And then we're going to choose Photoshop PDF. Right here. And then click OK. In the Save Adobe PDF dialog box, choose Press Quality. Let's see, OK. Press Quality. And then click Save PDF. If a warning appears indicating that older versions of Photoshop may not be able to edit the PDF file, click Yes to continue. Your file has been saved in the Adobe PDF format, ready to be used in other applications such as InDesign, or shared for proofing with a reviewer who may have Adobe Acrobat Reader or Adobe Acrobat. And that's it.